Just make this go away.
Welcome to another edition of Cage Talk. I'm your host, Buck. I got my co-host, Nick, in the studio. Nick, how are you?
Very good. Looking forward to the interview.
And and joining us on the phone right now is Randy Couture. Randy, how are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good. All right, we had to. I'm just going to say this right now to everybody. We screwed up before. We were talking to Randy, and we had to start the interview over. So I'm just going to tell the story real quick, so the people that are going to be watching this on YouTube can see this as well. We were setting up this interview for Randy, and they gave us the wrong phone number, and they gave us Tim Sylvia's number, and he's not very happy that we actually called and asked to talk to Randy. So there's the short and skinny of it. All right, so
I think you'll get over it.
God,
I think
hope
so too.
All right, well, the first question, Randy, is these questions come from MMA.com, obsessedwithmma.com, and I want to thank Leathers for setting these questions up. Does your decision to come out of retirement have anything to do with the prospect of fighting Mirko Cro Cop?
Well, he certainly played into the equation. Him coming onto the landscape, being one of the top fighters in the world, is intriguing to me. And right up there with fighting a guy like Tim. I've had problems with big guys in the past. It's a challenge for me to come back at heavyweight and fight another big guy and show the progression that I've made as an athlete. And I think Tim's a little bit different athlete than the two big guys I fought last in the heavyweight division. He's not a grappler, but so style-wise, it's a better matchup for me. But certainly, Mirko is part of the thinking involved in coming back at heavyweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually, I watched Inside the UFC last night, and great interview, by the way. But that's one of the things that you are known for as a fighter, is going to be a fighter that wants, you seek out the biggest challenges that you can possibly find. And this seems obviously like a perfect challenge for you, is coming back at heavyweight. What exactly, you held the belt at heavyweight, you moved down to light heavy. What kind of process have you gone through for getting ready to get back into the heavyweight and gaining the weight and preparing for someone like Tim? What kind of stuff have you been doing to prepare for the fight?
Well, I didn't really have to gain any weight. I've kind of been walking around this year back up at around 230, which is kind of where I was when I was a heavyweight. Although I haven't been in top fighting shape, so the challenge has been keeping that weight that I've put back on there and getting myself in the top fighting shape. So,
right.
And I've been still eating a real similar diet, a lot of greens and no dairy, and limiting the red meat, but eating a lot more food. It's been a little more relaxing, not having to be quite as strict with the diet.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait, go ahead.
No, go.
And I was just going to also ask you, without obviously giving away too much of your game plan, you've fought big guys before, obviously, Rico Rodriguez, guys like that, but what kind of a game plan are you coming up with for someone like Tim? He's humongous. Are you looking to take him down? What's your whole thing with him?
Well, I don't think it's any secret. I don't think it's any secret what Tim's going to try to do. He's going to try to move. I'm sure he's watched the last two Chuck fights and wants to use similar footwork and try and stay away and use his ranginess and his striking ability. And I don't think it's any secret what my strategy is. I want to get engage and get past his hands and get to his body, get to that clinch range and trip him and sweep him, knock him down and put him on the ground. I think that's still my strongest, best position in any fight, whether he's 275 pounds or not. And that's certainly Tim's Achilles heel still. He's certainly gotten better there, as he showed with Jeff Munson.
Right.
But I think he can be exploited there, and that's what I intend to do.
Yeah, rumor has it, being here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Randy, that one of our guys is actually out there working with you for this fight, Big Dan Christensen.
That's right. Big Dan came in a couple weeks ago. He's been great. What a great kid.
He's a great guy.
Awesome
nice guy.
6'8", so he's a perfect match for Tim in size and range. And he's been going with me every day and sticking that jab in my face and trying to set up that straight right hand. And it's actually helping him develop some more takedown defense and some more wrestling skills to go with his game. And I've had Frank Mir and Eric Pele, a couple of other 270, 280-pound guys in the gym as well. And between the three of them, they've been ganging up on me, and they're trying to make my life miserable.
Can you talk to us a little bit? I mean, I think a lot of people are pretty curious about your move out to Vegas and training out there and everything. Can you talk to us a little bit about your transition from Team Quest to, maybe your gym in LA a little bit, and then where you are now and how you got there?
Well, I've been in Vegas for 2.5 years now. I went through a real nasty divorce, and my ex-wife is from Oregon. I had Team Quest there, but had kind of a falling out with some of my friends and partners there through the whole divorce process. So it was kind of nasty. Family members got involved. It wasn't very pretty, and those things rarely are. And I think moving to Vegas and kind of getting a fresh start. And, I met my new wife here. She's a Colorado girl, but been living in Vegas for 9 or 10 years, and she's a whiz at the marketing thing. We put the gym together, and the place has just been great. It's taken off. We've been open a week and a half, well, almost 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks on Saturday, and we've already signed up, pushing 100 people.
Wow.
That's great.
And so it's off the hook. It's going really well.
Yeah. If you're just joining us right now, we're on the phone with Randy Couture, and we're talking about his upcoming fight with Tim Sylvia and other stuff. And speaking of the other stuff, Randy, Tim. I still got Tim on the mind from him calling me an a-hole. Who's your favorite fighter to watch right now?
Well, I think I've always enjoyed watching George. I think George is a pretty amazing fighter, and I think between him and Fedor, those two guys step in the ring, and I'm glued to the TV or glued to what's going on. I want to see their approach and technique and tactics and what they're doing, and those guys are both pretty exciting.
What do you think about the announcement that Fedor's going to fight Matt Lindland?
I'm not surprised. Matt Lindland is a junkyard dog. If anybody that fights him, I don't care who they are, better be ready to go, because he's gonna give you everything he has, and he's a scrapper. He's just one of those guys. He's got no fear. He just doesn't care. He loves to fight, and you can never count a guy like that out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm really curious. I've got a couple actually aspects of your training and preparation for a fight. You seem to be, to use a Mike Goldberg word, you seem to be a pretty cerebral fighter. And I'm just wondering specifically what kind of mental preparation you do before a fight. Do you have any visualization exercises, or what kind of mental preparation do you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Do a lot of positive self-talk. Do some framing, some change. A lot of times we get these ideas in our head that aren't always positive, that aren't always operating in the positive terms, and so you got to kind of reframe things. A perfect example of that is one of the most common questions I get asked is, "Oh, do you get nervous before your fights?" And so, well, no, I kind of reframe that and say, "No, I don't get nervous. I get excited." And
right.
Nervousness implies something bad might happen, and I love what I do, and nothing bad could ever happen. Even if you lose the fight, get knocked out, it's not the end of the world. And
it
So
happens.
if you reframe it, be excited about what you do, and it changes your outlook. You smile and you relax and you go out and you do what you've trained to do. That's kind of a mental skill. But definitely use a visualization and relaxation exercise that visualize the different ways the fights could go with that one common denominator, always seeing your hand raised at the end of the fight.
Right. All right. Well, Randy Couture, we're going to take a quick break right quick, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk to you some more just for a few more minutes. Is that okay?
Okie dokie.
All right. We'll be right back. It's Cage Talk.